Yo, what's good people? So we may never see a 7-star CGR being released, or at least we're not going to for a very long time. So I'm going to simulate what a 7-star rank 4 Cosmic Ghost Rider would look like in this video. I am running a 30% green boost, a 10% attack boost, and a 15% health boost, and this more or less gives him the same attack and HP that a 7-star rank 4 version of CGR would have. Of course, we're missing the extra critical rating, the higher hero rating, so we're going to crit less than a 7-star Cosmic Ghost Rider would, and we're going to have a bit lower stats, but this is as close as we're going to get to a rank 4 Cosmic Ghost Rider for a while. Now, you saw him nuke that Maestro right there, but what's even more impressive is he's actually pretty much the best Dark Phoenix counter in the entire game. You do need to be careful in this matchup though. You need to make sure you throw your special 2 before Dark Phoenix triggers her immortality. Otherwise, her immortality will be turned passive, but if you throw your special 2 and trigger your damnation before she goes immortal, then she won't trigger it at all, and that basically makes him the best counter to her in the game, the fastest counter at equal ranks. Oh, and he can nuke Serpent as well, because of course he can, bro. It's CGR. Now, this isn't the easiest matchup. You need to make sure Serpent is constantly throwing his special 1s. If he doesn't do that, it's going to throw you out the loop and it's going to be an annoying time. But as long as Serpent is playing ball with you, CGR is a fantastic counter to him. The second special 2 is basically going to take him down to his immortality phase. You want to make sure you have your striker saved for this. Activate your power gain, use your striker, then slow combo, and you can just use your special 1 to finish him off. The damnation will heal block him, so he's not going to regen anything, and that is a 53-second Serpent takedown from CGR. Oh, and he can take Nico as well, which I'm sure should not be possible, but it very much is. So the strat in this matchup is basically just wait until the buff immunity falls off you, and when that has happened, you can just do your normal CGR rotation and you basically try to nuke her before she throws a single special attack. Now, this is a bit RNG based. If she throws a special attack, you're kind of cooked, but if she doesn't, you're easily able to nuke her before she can do anything really. And if she doesn't reactivate that buff immunity on you by throwing her special 2, you're not going to get poisoned. So yeah, CGR pretty much nukes Nico. And he's a great counter to Zola, despite Zola basically neutering your special 2 and making it do no damage. CGR does more than enough damage on his basic attacks to handle this guy. What I like to do is do the heavy counter special 1 trick to get my heavy attack off, and as long as you can do that, yeah, he's a perfect counter to him. Can't dex the special 1 obviously, otherwise we're not going to get the precision, so you do want to try and parry the special 1 hit. You're going to take a bit of block damage in this match, but other than that, yeah, he's a perfect counter to Zola. Definitely one of the fastest out there. That's 41 second Zola takedown. Could have been even better if we got some better AI. Now, Deathless Thanos, this is not the best matchup for CGR by any means, because CGR has so many hits in his special 2, so you really have to be careful in this matchup, otherwise you're going to make Thanos go unstoppable, and that is going to ruin your rotation obviously. So what I like to do is, after I get off my rotation, after I get off my special 2, I will just land a couple of heavy attacks, hope they crit, and that's going to chunk him down pretty much. I don't think CGR would be crazily broken for Battlegrounds. Don't get me wrong, he will be broken, but I don't think it will be like, oh my god, CGR is instant win every time, because there are a decent amount of defenders he cannot take. He's not good for Captain Britain, he's not good for Yelena. He takes Deathless Thanos and Jean Grey, but not that fast honestly. So there's a solid amount of defenders now, which CGR isn't too good for. Of course, there's all the armor break communes that he can't really take. So do I think Kabam should release a 7-star CGR? I don't know, man. I mean, Call Obsidian is basically 7-star CGR, to be honest. I don't think there's much difference between the two. Like in terms of damage, in terms of utility, they both have different utility. Like for example, Call can handle evade and auto block champions better, but CGR has the damnation to handle cosmic champions, champions with buffs, like Dark Phoenix, stuff like that. But in terms of damage, I think they're remarkably similar. So I do think 7-star CGR is like a possibility. I don't think he's too strong to be released per se. I think he's very strong, very OP obviously, but I don't think he's, you know, too strong. Now against Onslaught here, CGR is a metal champion and you cannot dex in this matchup. So you're going to have to take a lot of blocked hits. So honestly, like, you're going to take some damage against Onslaught. So I wouldn't call CGR the best counter to this matchup. He obviously nukes him extremely fast. However, look how much damage I took there and I played pretty much perfectly. So Onslaught, honestly, not the best matchup for CGR, even as a 7-star probably, unless you get really good Neuroshock RNG. He's a fantastic option for Mr. Sinister because that damnation CGR has not only nullifies all buffs on the opponent, but it also heal blocks them. So Mr. Sinister basically cannot regenerate any of the special 2 damage which CGR deals, and 2 special 2s is more than enough to nuke this guy. So yeah, CGR handles Mr. Sinister perfectly well, which I know a lot of people don't realise, but he's honestly one of the faster counters for him in game. Alright, I alluded to this matchup a bit earlier on in the video, but CGR is actually not that fast for Jean Grey because of those exhaustion debuffs she applies to you that reduces your critical damage rating, and she also has energy resistance. So don't get me wrong, CGR can do this fight, but goddamn, it really is not as fast as you'd probably expect it to be. There are much better options for Jean Grey out there. Honestly, might be a better move to go for the special 3 rotation in this matchup. It probably would have been faster, to be honest. Yeah, I should have gone for the special 3 rotation here, but this was the first time trying CGR versus Jean. And you know, he's still doing damage, he's getting it down, don't get me wrong, it's just not the fastest matchup out there. And honestly, I was expecting it to be another 40-second nuke for CGR, but I was wrong. He's really not that fast for this matchup, which really surprised me. His playstyle does lend perfectly to fighting Jean Grey though, because you don't want a dex. That means, you know, you don't really have to deal with the inverted controls too much because you're just going to block the special attacks anyway. So yeah, his playstyle is actually pretty good for Jean Grey. He can take Havok very well, but like, you need to set things up correctly in this matchup. Basically, what you want to do against Havok is you want to get hit by the final hit of Havok's special 1, and this will give you your armor up buff. And don't worry, because we're going to willpower heal the damage we took from that special 1, and you're gonna have to get hit by 2 special 1s in this matchup, unless you want to take a fat detonation, which I don't. But yeah, after we get the second armor up, 1 more special 2 is more than enough to finish Havok off. So yeah, he's a good counter for Havok. You just need to know what you're doing, and you just need to set it up correctly and make sure you're getting hit by the last hit of the special 1 to gain your armor up buff. And now we have an arcade. Thought I'd fight some generic tech defenders just to see how fast he nukes them. And yeah, this is just funny at this point. Obviously, arcade is already kind of mid on defense nowadays, but when 7-star CGR comes out, my days, his days are over. Even more over than they already are. How fast was that? 21 seconds. Could probably be even faster if I was able to land a intercept after my special 2 as well. Of course, Red Skull, he nukes just as fast. Even when Red Skull was a bigger menace on defense like a year ago, people were still nuking him with the 6-star CGR. That was everyone's main counter to him. 42k mediums just straight out of the gate. Insane damage, truly is insane. 22 seconds. Well done, Red Skull. You lasted a whole second longer than Chris Hansen over there. He's a great counter to Photon as well, especially because he has that vigilance buff, so he does bypass miss, which means you can parry Photon. You don't want to parry her too much, because obviously Photon does a shit ton of block damage, so yeah, don't parry her too much basically, but you can land a sneaky little parry in there and it's fine. And that was a 25-second fight, so even though we took 10% health loss there, 25 seconds, that's still easy. 51, 52k points in Battlegrounds will win you 99% of matchups. Now the last match of the video is one I'm sure pretty much nobody expects CGR to be able to do, because Sentinel is armor break immune and he has so many resistances. However, there is a way to do this matchup. You basically want to go for the special 3 rotation, then spam your special 1s to get the incinerates, and those incinerates, you know, it's nothing crazy, but they do decent damage and they definitely tick Sentinel down. So this matchup is possible. You don't want to like go out trying to do this matchup, but if you're stuck without a counter and you have a 7-star CGR somehow, then he can definitely do this matchup decently well. Those incinerates are doing like what, like 1.8k per tick each, so that's solid, man. With the Fury, it's some very solid damage. But that's going to be the end of the video, fellas. If you did enjoy it, you know what to do. Thank you all for watching, and remember, this is December to remember, so an upload coming off me every single day this month. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.